I will say this movie feels like it was definitely written pre-inflation.
So what, I just go back to living in my car?
You lived in your car?
Yes, Jeff, I did. Why do you think an angel got involved? Because I had too many roommates?
Drive-by movies you're watching.
Fresh releases.
My name's Blaise.
And I'm James.
And this week, we're talking the brand new film, Good Fortune.
What has happened to you, Gabriel? You're smoking cigarettes now?
Leave me alone, Jeff. I like it. It's all I have.
It's been years since Aziz Ansari has put out anything in the movies, and here he is back with Good Fortune. It's about a well-meaning but rather inept angel named Gabriel who meddles in the lives of struggling gig workers and a wealthy venture capitalist. So, as I said, Aziz Ansari, a huge fan of his show Master of None. I never got around to watching season 3. I'm not sure if there was season 4, but just, his character was such a big arc in season 1 and season 2 that I just never got around to checking out season 3, even though I know I've heard it's good. But yeah, he's back now. I know he's been doing stand-up here and there again, has had a couple side roles, but seeing him as a main character in a movie and then also him directing this movie too. I believe this is his directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken, for a feature-length movie at least. Blaise, what are your thoughts coming out of Good Fortune?
So yeah, this was a film that I was really excited about and then kind of just never made it to the theater to check it out. I think partly of that is because this was one of those movies that was dumped this October, and everything was dumped in a 3-week span before Halloween, where I feel like November's already been kind of dry in the sense that there hasn't been a ton of releases, where any of those movies could have been put either in September or November, or maybe even wait till next year, because it feels like this wasn't given the treatment maybe that this movie deserved on paper. But after watching the movie, I kind of understood why it was dumped in a way. It feels like it didn't get the studio's full love, attention, and care, and proceeds to then also not get that from the audience that never showed up for it. But yeah, I like this for the most part, but I don't know if it's one of those movies that lived up to the expectations that I had for it, especially like you mentioned about being a fan of Aziz Ansari and his series Master of None. I feel like this just felt like stuff that would have been on the cutting room floor of Master of None.
And that's honestly, I think, on Lionsgate. I give them kudos for giving Aziz Ansari a chance to make this movie. I know Seth Rogen had a big deal with Sony for a while and was working with them. Now I know he's working with Apple mainly these days. But seeing Lionsgate, they really rolled the dice with this movie. It's a very different, weird movie that, could have been hard to market, but with such big names attached and this supposed to be a feel-good, family, warm-hearted movie. Maybe not necessarily family, but it's a very warm-hearted, be kind to other style movie. You would think they would have tried to push this during Christmas, and yeah, Christmas is where movies like Avatar is gonna run the box office, but when there's nothing else like this coming out, I mean, there might be movies like this coming out that I'm just unaware of, but having these big comedians in there and leaning towards more of a comedy, I think that would have helped this movie in the long run. It is funny, it's more sentimental than it is comedic, I'd say. But still, though, if they leaned more into it, this being a comedy, audiences are aching for comedies these days. We don't see them in theaters, and this could have been, a runaway success. I feel like it doesn't seem like it's too high budget, but But overall, my thoughts on the movie, though, it's not the greatest movie by any means, but just it's feel good. It's a nice return for Aziz Ansari. Thought Seth Rogen was fine in it, and Keanu Reeves. It was weird to see him kind of go back to his Bill and Ted roots with this role, just kind of playing a lovable, dumb buffoon, I guess you could say. But it works for this movie, though.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think there was a play to be made with the marketing, but also the way that the studio could have approached releasing this movie, where they could have made a ton of money, even though, yeah, on paper, this seems like a bigger movie or better movie than it is. When you're actually watching the movie, you're like, oh, this is kind of stuff that feels a little outdated in a way. It reminded me really of, in a way, how it felt like the message was like 5 years too late when the movie came out. This is the same movie, I feel like, with Class Consciousness, and Aziz Ansari is playing this guy who works for basically an Uber Eats or Grubhub type company. It just feels like too late almost. Like Aziz Ansari probably wrote this when he got canceled, and then here we are like 6 years later and getting this movie, and it's just all ideas from like 6 years ago. It just, yeah, I feel like they could have still played this in a way where this could have been profitable, like you said, going for the sentimental value, which the film takes that approach, but releasing it as a Christmas movie. Maybe even in the inception, this should have honestly been a Christmas movie, because it does feel like It's a Wonderful Life in a sense. A little bit of it feels like that in Trading Places. But yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. I will say I feel like Seth Rogen wasn't the right pick for this movie. Like he plays it fine, but it's just we're not getting anything from him we've never seen before. We're just getting like copy paste Seth Rogen from another movie.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching him from the studio, basically. I mean, it's not the same mansion by any means, but just it felt like it was just like this could have been an episode, basically, of the studio, I feel like, for the most part. But yeah, it's like, I think it's a great premise. And yeah, like I was definitely thinking of It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Carol at first, too. But, you know, this isn't set during Christmas time. So, like, they're obviously not going for that Christmas thing. But that really could have helped in the long run, I think. Like, they just needed someone like at the studio or someone at the producer or writer level just to bring up to Aziz, like, hey, we should maybe set this up during Christmas and, you know, just, you know, bring in the good vibes and sell it that way and stuff. This could have became a Christmas classic, because it's been a while since we've gotten some Christmas classics. Like, I mean, I'd say the last one we've gotten was maybe just Krampus or something. Like, you know,
Daddy's Home too.
Daddy's Home 2 might be a regular for some of y'all out there, not necessarily for me, but this movie, like, you know, It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Carol, they're old. I love those movies. I watch It's a Wonderful Life every year, but just like, you know, for the new people of today's generation and stuff, this could have been that movie. So really missed opportunity there, but I thought Aziz's writing was great. And, you know, it's a little rich and pandering coming from a rich guy, hearing like, don't treat the poor with disrespect, like, you know, they are struggling and you don't understand what they might be going through at home or living inside their car. So it's like, that was a little rich, but it still felt very like real. It felt authentic from him, though, writing this story. But I agree, though, with you saying, though, that it feels a little late just because so many people are living like this these days that, like, it doesn't come shocking, because this could have been a shocking movie to see, like, yeah, like probably like 5 or 6 years ago, just because, you know, so many people are homeless, so many people live out of their car, but it's not something you see every day. But me living in Los Angeles, like, you know, I take my girlfriend to work and I see people living in their parking lot. Anytime I go to Planet Fitness, lots of people living in their car in the parking lot too. It's just, it's everywhere. And, you know, people say homeless encampments are ruining the city. It's just like, I mean, have you tried surviving in this city?
Yeah, I will say this movie feels like it was definitely written pre-inflation. Like, not that inflation just started, but you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe 2 years ago when inflation was like at its peak, you know?
Right.
Like, I still think it's probably climbing, but, you know, I'm not an economist. But yeah, like, it feels like this would have been like a better play before, obviously, like that. And would have been more shocking, like you said, would have been more like it felt pandering in a sense. Like, it was authentic, I agree with that, but it did feel like it was too late, so it almost feels like it's pandering to the audience a little bit. One thing that's funny and came up in the news recently was just the fact that, speaking about homelessness, and like Kevin Spacey apparently is living out of his car or something, but then
he's living at hotels.
I'm only thinking because I saw literally this morning like a video of him saying like, oh, he's not homeless. I didn't even watch the full video because I went straight to the comments and was just cracking up. Like, he was more like stressed about people thinking that he's homeless, that he made a video, than the actual victims that he's like lives he'd ruined. Which I'm like, this is so true. Like, he was more worried about his social status that he had to make a video, because there's always comments too that are people like, can't believe Hollywood ruined this guy. It's like, no, this dude ruined him for himself. Like, somebody's gonna take a chance on him someday and they're gonna regret, because he's gonna be a menace on set, you know, so they're gonna regret it. But I just thought that was funny because I think Kevin Spacey probably got canceled. I mean, I think his is a little bit different than Aziz Ansari, but around the same time. So it literally took Aziz Ansari, what, 5-6 years now to get a film back off the ground. Maybe it's longer. I don't even remember the exact time frame, but it just feels a little too late in that sense. And I mean, I hope that Aziz can kind of make something else out of this, but I just feel like, I'm assuming it didn't do well at the box office just because I don't think anything did well in October. Like, even the surefire things that should have done well didn't do well in October's box office this year. So I can imagine that he just got fed to the wolves with this one.
Yeah, we'll see how it does when it hits some big streamer, I guess you could say. I could see it growing. I mean, all you got to do is just add Keanu and Seth Rogen onto the cover on Netflix, and it's going to be in the top 10. I'm guarantee for that weekend that it's if it ever makes its way on Netflix. I'm not sure who Lionsgate does their deals with these days for streaming. Do they have an app that I'm just unaware of too? Funny enough.
I don't think they do, but it's probably Paramount Plus, honestly.
Right, yeah, honestly. Yeah, I mean, when I think Lionsgate, I think of the Saw movies, and I guess the Saw movies aren't really streaming anywhere. I mean, they could be, but just I don't know I don't have that information off the top of my head, but yeah, like overall it's like a very heartfelt movie. Yeah, I agree with like Seth Rogen not feeling like the best part for the role, but he's fine and serviceable and wasn't bad in it by any means. I would have liked to see a little bit more Keke Palmer within the movie. She's such a funny comedic actress, just to kind of be pushed down to just like the love interest of the movie. Like, she is likable and quirky within the movie, but would have liked to have seen more with her character, I guess you could say. But Aziz, like, carrying the movie, it felt just fine, felt right, and you know, I laughed along the way and got sentimental watching the movie. Like, it's not the greatest movie, but it's a solid watch.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that this was, you know, it checked all the boxes. It didn't go above and beyond like I was expecting and hoping, but it wasn't the worst movie watching it. And I think maybe I would have liked it more in the theater because I would have got that communal experience there. I think a movie like this would have been better in the theater. Even though the overall movie isn't a great movie, I feel like it would have been a better experience watching it in the theater. I think all comedies are, so I don't think that's crazy to say. But yeah, that could have also been a thing. Maybe I would have liked this movie more if I saw it with other people and we're all laughing along. You know, it's hard for a comedy to really play at home, you know, without an audience.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You know, I can laugh out loud, and I can think something's funny, but, you know, sometimes just hearing that person make it funny to you also just really adds on to it. But yeah, what are your thoughts? If you saw it in theaters, I'm curious what the experience is like. Leave a comment down below. It's a great way to help support the show. Also, if you haven't seen it, which a lot of people, I don't know anyone who's seen it other than you, you know, a great way to help support us. Rent it through our Amazon affiliate link in our description box below.
And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that notification bell to get all of our latest updates.
Oh, and speaking of updates, catch all our social media links down below. We have links to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, also our own personal letterbox accounts. That's it for this week. Tune in next week for a brand new video.